Stop wasting your time searching through documents. We will build a Supabase RAG chatbot that immediately pulls all of the relevant information that you're looking for. Imagine being able to upload all of your documents, company, financial, etc., into a database, and then being able to use this chatbot to chat and get the answers that you want. Well, that's what we'll build, and we'll do it in about 10 minutes. Learning this stuff alone is tough. That's why I created a private community where you can get answers, share your wins, and connect with people on the same journey. Join us. The link is in the description. I'll see you inside. In this build, we will set up Supabase and set up a RAG chatbot to be able to talk with it. So we will take a file from Google Drive, chunk it, embed it, and store it in a vector database, and also set up a chat function that allows us to go inside the vector database and have a conversation with the information that's in there. So in this example, we'll put in text, a play, but you can go ahead and put whatever you want in it. And it could be PDFs, it could be other files, and you can just chat with all of that information using a chatbot, and you'll get the information immediately. So instead of having to think about or find things or search for documentation or search for information, you can literally talk to this chat function and get everything from your database immediately. So this saves you so much time. If you're a business, just for your personal life, however you want to set it up, but it's very powerful. You'll get it done in less than 10 minutes. And there's nothing like just chatting with the chatbot and going through maybe thousands of documents instantaneously and getting the information that you want. Quick pause. If this video is remotely helpful, hit the subscribe button and we'll level up together. The first step we want to take is to add a trigger. We will do trigger manually. And we can go ahead and add Google Drive. Download file. And again, if you haven't set up your Google Drive account, there's another video on the channel that is literally 2 minutes long, and it'll show you how to set this up in detail. So resources file, operation is download from the list. We can drop down the list and select the document that we want to pick here. From the list, I've added the complete works of William Shakespeare, so that's what we will add to the database. And we can go ahead and click execute step. And I have it in a text file because it's a little cleaner for the database and LLMs to read. So we have it here. Next, we'll go ahead and add a Supabase vector store, and it will be add documents to vector store. Here we want to go ahead and get credentialed. So if we come in here, create new credential, we will go to the open docs here and we will create a Supabase account. After you create an account, you'll be brought here to create a new project. So we have a project name here, an organization. I added a password to the database, and we'll go ahead and create a new project. We are in our project now, so if we scroll down a bit, we have the project URL. So we just want to copy this, go back to N8N, we paste in our URL right in here, and then we go back to Supabase, and right here on the left side, project settings, we go to API keys, and you want to copy, reveal and copy the service role key. So we'll go ahead and reveal and copy this and then paste it back over in N8N. Want to see faster results? My community is packed with people who are already building and automating. Get access to their strategies and shortcuts. We're diving deep into the topics, and I'm sharing all the best strategies. Join us. The link is in the description. I'll see you inside. So we just copied in our URL and our service key here. Click save. And there we are. In the Supabase node, you can see that we want to select from a table. We don't have a table built out yet. If we come back to Supabase, right here on the left side, we have table editor, and it's not just as simple as creating a table. So there's another step, and I'll walk you through it right now. It'll take a quick second, but This is the only way to get it to work. So we come back to here, the Supabase credentials. And what we do from this page again is click on Supabase Vector Store. And where's this coming from? Again, if we go back to N8N, you can just click this as well, the docs in the Supabase Vector Store, and that'll take you directly to it. Here, we want to scroll down to Quick Start for setting up your vector store, and we want to take this and copy it. This is for OpenAI's embedding model, so we want to make sure that we use OpenAI's embedding model in the workflow. And now after copying this, we can go back to our table here. And what we want to do is click on the SQL editor, and we can just run a new one, copy it in, and then just click run. There we are. And now if we go back to templates, or our table editor, sorry, we have documents here. So if we click on documents, we can see a document was created. We have text content, some metadata. What we can do now is go back to N8N. Back in N8N, we can go back to the vector store node, and from the list, our list should populate now, and now we can go ahead and select documents. We want to add an option here, and we'll just leave the query name as match documents. We will go ahead and add an embedding model. So we can use OpenAI. Again, we can use the small embedding model. This is the model that we want to use because the SQL we brought over is for this model. So next we'll go ahead and add a default data loader. This is just going to split the document into chunks. So we will move this to binary. It'll be able to process different type of files, PDFs. We will leave this as is, and for text splitting, we'll just make it custom. When we come to the text splitter, we'll select the recursive text splitter. Chunk size, this is how large the chunks are for your document, and for this, it really depends on what you're putting into the database. So what you can literally do is just go ahead and ask any language model, whether it's ChatGPT or something else, what is an appropriate chunk size for the information that you have that you're putting in the database. We can go ahead and leave this at 1000. The chunk overlap is just, is there an overlap in your chunks? So I'll usually put a small overlap just so that the files aren't missed. Now let's go ahead and test this. We'll just click on the vector node, execute step. We executed the step here. One of the slight changes I made, instead of the entire works of William Shakespeare, I swapped it out to just Julius Caesar by William Shakespeare. So that's the text file that we're adding to our database. So coming in here to the vector node, we can see we have the output here. Ebook of Julius Caesar, and here's the table. We have it chunked. Here's the JSON file. Here in the table editor view on Supabase, you can see that the Julius Caesar by William Shakespeare was chunked in here, and yeah, so you can see some of the chunks. And wow, William Shakespeare, so eloquent. Then how when nature calls thee. We want to set up the ability to chat with the model, so we will go ahead and add a chat trigger. Now we can add a question and answer chain. Here we have the chat connected to the question and answer chain node. We want to go ahead and add a model here, so this is just to give it some logic. I'm going to use OpenAI. I'm using 4.1 mini. And here we can add the retriever. We will do a vector store retriever, and we can keep the limit at 4. For the vector store, we want to use what we just set up. So we're using Supabase. Here we want to leave the operation as retrieve documents. From the list, we want to go ahead and select our documents. We want to add an option here for query, and we'll just leave it as is. And we also want to add the embedding model. So for the embedding model, we will go to OpenAI and just use 3 small. And there we are. We can go ahead and chat with the agent here. So if we just come up here, open chat, what were Julius Caesar's last words in the play? Et tu, Brute? Wow. Cinema. All right, so we just created a chatbot that can now talk to documentation that we have stored in a database. So we're taking something from Google Drive, putting it into a vector database, chunking it, embedding it, putting it into a vector database, creating a chat function, and just asking the chat a bunch of questions about stuff in our database. So we put the play of Julius Caesar in here, where he gets wiped out on the Senate floor by the people closest to him, and we're able to chat and ask questions about the play. Now imagine putting other documentation in here. You can really see the power that you have at your fingertips, because imagine putting the company documents in here. Or for yourself, I like to put books that I've read, or interesting histories, or scientific research papers. And if you're a company, you can go ahead and put your company data in there, your business information. You can set it up to an avatar. So now you can talk to an avatar, and the avatar is absolutely fluent with everything that goes on in your business, terms and conditions, anything you can think of. And it really just puts knowledge at your fingertips. So instead of chasing down documents or information, you literally can just come into the chatbot, who is very well versed on your documentation, and ask, what were Julius Caesar's last words? And you'll get it immediately. So the build is really powerful. It's built in less than 10 minutes, and I hope that you build it out, you put interesting information in there, and it gives you benefits and shortcuts and saves you a bunch of time. So I hope you found it useful, and I'll see you in the next one.